Because when we have public,
gotcha.
they're around the back, around the
Okay.
outside. We're good?
We're good.
I call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Mayor Knopf,
Here,
Mr. Manley,
Here.
Mr. McCready,
here.
Mr. McQueen, here, Mr. Rivera is absent. Mr. Ruth is here, is here virtually, and Ms. Mayor.
Here.
I'm here, sorry.
Notice that this meeting was provided to the Bernardsville News and Courier News, filed with municipal clerk and posted on the municipal bulletin board on December 14th, 2023, and supplemented on April 16th, 2024, to change the date of the meeting to April 29th, 2024. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome to the April 9th, 2024 meeting of the Bernardsville Borough Council. This meeting is being conducted in person in the council chambers in Borough Hall, and it is being broadcast live on YouTube and on Zoom to make it as convenient as possible for residents to attend the meeting. Members of the public who are here in person and those attending remotely on will be given the opportunity to comment at appropriate times during the meeting in accordance with the following guidelines. Members of the public will be allowed to speak during the open sessions and during formal public hearings on the agenda, including public hearings on ordinances. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes per speaker, which will be monitored and enforced by the borough clerk. Comments containing offensive, profane, or indecent language or language constituting hate speech will not be permitted. Remote participants will be muted unless they are unmuted by the clerk, and remote participants will not be able to unmute themselves. The clerk will mute remote speakers at the expiration of their 3 minutes of allotted time, or if they make any inappropriate or offensive comments. All speakers, whether in person or on Zoom, shall state their name and address before making their comments. Speakers on Zoom shall activate their cameras so that they can be seen by members of the governing body and audience. Failure of the governing body to provide a live broadcast of this meeting or technological problems encountered during the course of the meeting that affect remote viewing and or participation will not invalidate this meeting or any action taken, including but not limited to the adoption of any ordinance, resolution, or motion. All right. First item on the agenda, we have a proclamation for Kearney Bank. This is their 140th anniversary, so I will read the proclamation. Whereas the Bernardsville branch of Kearney Bank is located at 122 Morristown Road, and whereas Kearney Bank is in their 140th year of establishment dating back from 1884 to the present, and whereas Kearney Bank has been in Bernardsville since 2020 and has been the Borough of Bernardsville's primary bank since that time, now therefore I, Mary Jane Canos, Mayor of the Borough of Bernardsville, do hereby recognize and congratulate Kearney Bank for 140 years of service to the community and wish them well in their future. So, congrats, Kearney. I don't know, I don't think anybody's on from there, are they?
No, it doesn't look like it.
All right, then they asked for a copy that they're gonna hang in their lobby, so we will give them an official copy. All right, moving on to the budget. So, we have a PowerPoint presentation. Just for people to kind of get a sense of, you know, we introduce this once a year, but the budget is really an ongoing living document that we refer to all year long. Thank you to the finance committee, put a lot of time and effort, and Leslie Robeson and our administrator, thanks Malul, for all the time they put into putting this budget together. What the budget should do is really reflect what our goals and objectives are for the year. and what our priorities are. And I think you've done an excellent job in keeping that in mind as you work through this budget. Unfortunately, we can never give everybody what they ask for. But I think what's important is that we really kept our priorities in mind of the library, Main Street, and making in our contractual obligations, meeting those contractual obligations. So thank you again for you guys, and Jay for chairman. And who's going to start?
I'm gonna start. So, just to echo the mayor's, comments, I wanna thank, Leslie and Nancy. This could not have come together had it not been for the two of them. You know, it's a very, long process, my second year as a part of it. And, you know, I really appreciate all their patience and working with us. Of course, I want to thank Chad and Al for all the time they put in. We had several meetings and went through this. And then, of course, the mayor and council overall, everybody, I believe, has had a presentation on the budget. So it takes a lot of time to get this done. We'll jump into the key takeaways. So if you can just move down a little bit. To start with, we'll have no tax rate, say rate increase for the third straight year. That was a priority for the council and everybody on the finance committee. The largest increase we're gonna see is in non-discretionary items. I think we're all seeing this in our workplaces and at home, health spending, contracts. The good news is we were able to fund those through the valuations increasing in the borough. So for the fourth straight year, we're seeing increases in our overall valuation, which means increases to the property values. We're also continuing to invest in public safety. And of course, we were able to this year actually come up with meet the full ask of the library, which hasn't been the case in every year, and Main Street Bernardsville. We still face some significant headwinds. So of course, inflation, I said this to the council at the last meeting. You know, it's easy to do a budget when valuations are increasing. I have yet to be on council when valuations are decreasing. I imagine it's much harder to do. So it's you know, something that we'll have headwinds on in the future. I mean, it's everything comes in a cycle, but we're very happy with where we were able to get for this year. And then just one last point. And we actually have a really nice slide on this. It talks about where your tax dollars go. And 24% of it comes from what we do here. Over 3/4, just about, comes from other parts of either the schools or from county or from different taxes that we have. So it represents you know, an accomplishment, but it's a 24% of our overall tax dollar that comes in. So we can go to the next page. This is just a high level on the numbers. I'm not going to read them. The bottom line is at the bottom. For 2024, the budget increased 0.63% less than the 2023 budget. So we've actually seen our overall budget slightly down from the 2023 budget. So let me make sure I'm reading that right. So percent increase, yeah, that's right. 5.6% increase from 2022 to 23 and a 4.97. So we actually had lower increase in overall by 0.63%. You go to the next slide. This talks about the increases in non-discretionary spending. So obviously a lot of things on here we don't control: pension, debt service. I would say that debt service is one of the things that I personally am the most proud of. I want to see, I think this is something that we've been working on for many years before I joined council. And hopefully, we'll continue well after I'm on council and once we can get rid of the debt service, hopefully that's something we can keep off the books in the future. I know there's several initiatives to help us with that, but, we're continuing to pay down the debt, maintain the town's credit rating. And then, of course, we have contractual stipends, the total non-discretionary increases are listed at the bottom. Want to go to the next slide? This is just a pie chart of the non-discretionary increases in budget. You can see the debt service, liability insurance, health benefits, pensions, all things that we have to pay for as a part of the municipality. And then the next one is just the distribution of your property tax levy. So this is a slide we've shown, I think for at least 4 or 5 years now. And it shows where your money's going. So the borough is the far right, $23.93. Comes to the borough. There's also our own open space funds, the county open space funds, the library, and I believe that's the library non-discretionary. That's the part of the library that we by law have to pay for. The law statutory have to pay for. And then, of course, county, and $56 out of every 100 goes to, or 57 to the schools. And just for our history from 2022, we held the rate flat coming out of COVID. 2023, we got a decrease in our rate, and 2024 again another decrease in the rate. So the next slide, I'm going to turn over to Nancy, who's going to take us through the rest of the day.
Sure. So this slide represents, the entire budget is $18,555,803, and 84 cents. But this slide, this pie chart represents what that is made up of, and, the percentages are listed to the right. What provides a good visual on where all of your municipal tax dollars are going. So the bulk, or the largest amount, probably comes as no surprise to anyone, is public safety, which is almost 22% of the entire municipal appropriation, and that encompasses police, fire, rescue squad, OEM, and dispatch as well. And then, as is typical in almost all municipalities, the second highest is public works, and that makes up a little over 13%. So I don't think Bernardsville is much different than most municipalities. Those are usually the 2 biggest line items in municipal government. And then the rest are broken up, as you see there, with their corresponding percentages. The next slide, I broke this down into just to show, really, to highlight for the public how little the governing body has within their control to set what the budget is. Because the first slide is almost half of the $18 million, and that is mandatory expenses. I gave some examples there. It's not inclusive. Statutory employees who we have to have by law, CFO, clerk, assessor, tax collector, our insurance, our health benefits, our recycling, pension is not on there, but that should be in that category as well. The next slide is called the next category is called core services. That makes it below less than the one before it, 8 million of the 18. And this includes things that we're not required to provide by law, but they are essential anyway: public works, IT, utilities. And what will we do without them? Could really exist, but they're not required by law. And then the last group is a little less than 12% of the entire budget. And this is the only thing that the governing body really has true control over. It's called discretionary because they are not required by law. They're not considered essential. I call them quality of life issues because these are the things that make life better in most counties. the library, the full, whole recreation programs, preserving our history. But these are the only things that you really have control over. That's $2 million, out of the 18.5 million. So it's more to show the public, how much is really mandated. The next slide talks, about what Councilman Enbeling was talking about, which is our valuation. It shows a 4-year history of how much it has gone up, and this year it's like literally, figuratively off the charts at $2,590,444,100, which is an increase of about $43 million over last year, which represents 6.5%. So as you see, it's been a steady incline since 2020, and now it's the highest it's been. And then the next slide, you see the what that has done to the average assessment has gone up from $844,343 in 2023 to this year $896,386, and that's the average home in Bernardsville. And as you see, the library and municipal open space tax rates stayed the same, but the municipal went down from 0.470 to 0.468, which brings the overall rate down from 0.522 to 0.520. And as the captain said, that is a reduction in the rate for the second year in a row and the third year in a row that it has been said. It was flat the year before that. The next, we also referenced before with state aid. We had a very slight increase of $3,318 over last year, which is minimal. I hate to even call it an increase because if you go back to 2008, after 2009, there were 12 years where it was, the same thing. And then it was flat for the last two, and now it was a bit of an increase. But if you go back to 2008, it's almost a 30% decrease over what we used to get. And this is an old, first receipts and franchise taxes that we're supposed to get. That's what it's replacing there. So we're supposed to be grateful for it, but we should have that. It's ours. The next slide, I don't know if you want me to go into detail, but these represent our proposed capital program. And it includes vehicles for police and DPW, police radios, building improvements for Borough Hall and the police department, mill and paving of 4 full roads and 2 partial roads. And then if you just go ahead a couple slides, Anthony, to one more, I think. That one, most important one, no new debt. So all of this capital is done with cash. So that is a key slide, I think, because we saw how big debt service was, and we tried not to make it bigger. And then the last slide is the library, and this was in last year's. I updated it and left it in. This shows the history of the contributions to the library. And as the councilman noted, the library got, in addition to the 1/3 of a mill, which you see there on the left, their ask was $85,251.32, and that is what they received.
Nancy, if I can just make a comment about the debt, and real compliments to Al and the work that you did along with Nancy and Leslie on this. Every year the borough can take debt is 1 year closer to good news. So I know they worked really hard to get this budget in line, while decreasing rates. Not taking new debt is great news for every resident in this borough, so.
Any questions or comments from the council?
Thank you all very much.
Yeah. And Jim, and you can introduce.
I move that resolution 24-109 be adopted and public hearing on the 2024 municipal budget be held on Tuesday, May 28th, 2024 at 7 p.m. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I would just do roll call. If you roll call, it's
Can I
good.
just do a roll call?
Yeah. Sorry.
Mr. Ambeline?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. McQueen?
Yeah.
Mr. Rude?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
All right, we have minutes for March 18th and March 25th, 2024. And I have a motion to approve.
I'll motion to approve. I'll second.
Yeah, so all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. All right, we are now at our first open session for items not listed for a public hearing. So if anyone in the audience would like to speak, please remember to give your name and address and try to limit your comments to 3 minutes. And I see Fran ready to go.
Hi, thank you, one. And two, I just wanted to draw your attention to 2 county things, that the county has extended our ESL funding through December, so that class is gonna continue on Monday and Wednesday nights. Part of it is going to be online during the summer, but that's ongoing, and they're also still pairing people with tutors for all different times of day and night at the library, so if you know anybody who needs ESL classes or tutoring, that's still ongoing, at the literacy volunteers can put you in touch with those people. But 2, there was a RFA from the county of Somerset with the Workforce Development Board for summer youth workers. And that is an opportunity, we applied for one to have a team between, I think, 16 and 18 work for 200 hours over the summer to support summer library programming and help with technology content creation. So we've applied, we don't have any official word yet that we've received one, but there are, I think, 70 opportunities throughout the county, at different municipalities and businesses. And the application date for that is May 3rd. So we're gonna try to get the word out if we find out we have one, that it would be a great opportunity for any team. So it's a really cool program. The county pays $16 an hour and you apply for the job that you'd love a team to work for. So I just want to draw your attention.
Nice.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Fran. Anyone else in the public, either here or on Zoom?
Olivia's trying to raise her hand.
Is somebody trying to?
Olivia, yeah.
Oh, she can go first. Olivia, were you trying to?
Yes, am I unmuted? Are we good? Awesome. Yeah, the hand thing isn't showing up, so I had to do it like old fashioned. I just want to say thank you so much to council for increasing our amount this year, and I'm really looking forward to sharing with everyone updates with our progress and our plans for this year. We are really excited about bringing back honoring Ed English. We've been talking about it for a couple of years. That's certainly a project that we're looking forward to working on this year over by the train station. And we have a great relationship now with New Jersey Transit that is allowing us to move forward on a project like this. So we're really excited about that. And we are also moving forward with some data components as well to help us track events and help our small business community as well with giving them some more information on how to capitalize on the bodies and the humans that are coming through town that they may be missing out on. So we're looking forward to sharing that with the business community as well. So lots more down the list. I'm not going to use up all of my 3 minutes, but we will be coming. A lot of our volunteers are excited about coming to council meetings, actually, believe it or not, and sharing our Main Street Minute, which we'll share with you so that you know what's going on as well. So thank you so much for not cutting us out and continuing on all of this. It's really exciting to be moving forward in really a positive direction, working with all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Olivia. All right, now Carrie.
Hi, I'm Carrie Hazelton, 397 Linewood Road. I just wanted to talk tonight a little bit about the upcoming subdivision of the Meadowbrook Farm. We've talked about this property for decades now. I think that the original open space tax that was passed by a wide margin way back when was really put into place with this property in mind, and maybe only this property was the most important one. This is our gateway from the south and the west. And I would like to see us have that gateway stay the way it is for eternity, basically, for people in Bernardsville after we're gone. We haven't seen any changes on that property in the 32 years that I've lived here, and I'm sure in the more than that, Mary Jane has lived here. But now there's going to be a subdivision, which we need to stay on top of, and I urge you to be aware of what's happening on the planning board regarding the splitting of the property into seven pieces and the ability of each of the siblings to act on their own. I know that they are enjoying being at their farm. I can see the changes. I can see that we've got 15 cows now. Everybody's excited. There's more produce that's for sale, and there's a lot going on. And I know they don't have any plans for right now, but a deal to get a property like this, a 200-acre property, I've seen it in my role on county open space. They can take many, many years. They can take decades. And even though they don't have plans now, the telephone, once this subdivision is approved, the telephone is going to start ringing in each of those 3 households from developers and builders that are just to poke around and see what they might be thinking. I want us to be at the table, and we're gonna need partners, county partners, state partners. It's complicated. I'm not sure what the status of our open space advisory committee is now, but we need that level of expertise for sensitive negotiations with this most important group of landowners for the future of our town. For stormwater management, flood mitigation, connecting trails, connecting our open spaces, maybe even getting, as I've talked about before, to neighboring towns. Without this piece, we can't get there. We've got historic resources across the way, and I just urge you not to let this opportunity, as it develops over the years, pass us by. So let's be there. Let's be there early and make sure that we have a seat at the table. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Carrie, and yeah, I think we all are in agreement on that. Thanks. Anyone else? I see a hand up.
We have Brenton and Aaron.
Brandon? Unmute. Brandon?
Hello, council. Is this public comment?
Yes,
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
yes,
Is this public comment?
it is. So if you could just give us your name and address.
Awesome. So I was actually hoping.
Wow.
Oh yes, my name is Brenton Tarrant, and I live on 11 East 14th Avenue. Yes. And so today, what I was hoping to talk about,
Avenue where?
it was actually in regards to Pride Month. My issue here is that I'm not trying to spread hate. I was just hoping for the city itself. I don't necessarily know if it's something that we should be giving recognition. And I have some statistics here to back up why. So in 2017, adult and adolescent gay and bisexual men made up 70% of the new HIV diagnoses in the United States, and that is according to the CDC. Studies have shown when compared with the general population, gay and bisexual men, lesbian and transgender individuals are more likely to use alcohol and drugs, have higher rates of substance abuse, not withhold from alcohol and drug use, and continue heavy drinking into later life, and that's from the CDC as well. Studies find a positive association between childhood maltreatment and same-sex sexuality in adulthood, with lesbians and gay men reporting 1.6 to 4 times greater prevalence of sexual and physical abuse than heterosexuals, and that's according to the National Institute of Health. While the ratio of genophiles to androphiles among the general population is approximately 20-1, the ratio of heterosexual to homosexual pedophiles was calculated to be approximately 11.
I'm sorry, did we get his address? Is he in Burnsville? I didn't hear.
He didn't answer where
It's in 14th Street.
Yeah, I don't know where that is.
Yeah, I don't know where that is either, guys.
He muted himself, so I didn't mute him, but he's muted right now.
Okay. Maybe he's on the wrong meeting. Who else do we have?
We have Julie Corrales.
Okay. Julia.
Hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Name and address?
Great. Julia Carabas. I live at 98 Sini Drive in Bernardsville, New Jersey. I'm also a co-owner of a local business, and I just wanted to make a quick comment and ask of the council. I saw that there's a vote for resolution regarding a sole bid for the snack shack. I have been checking and was interested in making a bid and never saw the bid on the website. It's not archived, it's not there. I was informed today that there were no bids because this was a different process. This is a concessions bid, and there was no requirement to put the bid on the website. That is different than what I've seen. There are bids for the Snack Shack in 2019, 2020, and 2021. And so if the process has changed in 2022, it would be great to see that ordinance or how it changed. And so, and I was also told that the recreation department was in charge of it, and there was an email sent to, apologize if you can hear my dog. There was an email sent to Community Pass members. I did check my Community Pass messages. It's not there. And so I'm just hoping that the board can look at this process to make sure that it's fair and equitable for everybody in the town. And everybody has access to this information, especially if it was available previously and people were able to bid for the Snack Shack in the past. So I really wanted to just point that out, hope that the council would take note and look into the process in the future so that maybe in 2025, everybody can bid on the Snack Shack if it's available. Thank you.
Yeah, and I think with that, we've bidded in the past, the bidding process is not required for that, for the concession. And it is an expensive process to go through. And we usually, some years we got no bids. Most of the time we got one. So I think what we realized is we could do it through, just through quotes, because it's under the bid limit. Is that?
Well, actually, I mean, Jack, correct me if I'm wrong, so I became the QPA, the qualified purchasing agent, so I was looking at a lot of the things we've been putting out, and this is a concession, it's a borough-owned property that you're basically leasing out to others, and so it is defined as a concession in the purchasing law, and it should have been put out as a concession. It could be bid out, I mean, there's nothing to say that it couldn't be bid out, but it is the most, the best way to do it would be as a concession, it's closest to a concession rather than a bid. It's a lot of work to go through for under, you know, $1,000 to put a bid out. So, I asked that we do it as a concession this way because it is closest thing in the purchasing law, to a concession. Concession is not legally required to be advertised. It requires, informal quotes. The rec director said that he believed that he sent out a community pass in December. I'd asked him to start looking for people in early last year, because we had heard that the concessionaire was not coming back. So I asked him to start looking around earlier. He said he believes he put something out in December. He did reach out to people he had heard who were interested. We could have, and we will, going forward, advertise it on the website and even in the newspaper. I mean, the more people who put in, the better, but I've been told that for the last 20 years, we've had one bidder every single year. Or none. And in this particular case, while I appreciate everyone's interest, the fact is that we don't have a meeting before the pool opens, and, you know, the rec director had been dealing with, I can't remember their name, but I know that they're the concessionaire at the Berners pool. He's looked at their menu and approved it and their prices, and I think that at this point, I think for this year, I would recommend that you stick with the people that are on the agenda for tonight, and then in the future, we will We will continue to do it as concession, but we'll just make sure that we advertise more than the law, even in the park.
And Nancy, if there's a resident that's interested, they should just contact the rec department and let them know that interest. But
In the future,
Yeah.
yeah,
if there are people
absolutely.
interested now, they can contact the rec department, let them know, please include me for next year's. bid.
Yes,
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to have a few offers instead of just one, so, yeah, all right. What else do we have?
We have two more. We have, Wyatt Brower.
Wyatt, are you there?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Okay, all right. So I'm from 88 Buchenwald Camp Drive, Bernardsville, New Jersey, 07924.
okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to, comment about the Pride Month as well, dude. And I mean, what do you got to be prideful about? It's a fucking abomination. These kikes are the ones that instill this type of shit in
Yeah.
Inappropriate language.
something like that. Straight, don't.
that was.
Yes. We don't allow inappropriate language, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Who else we got there?
We have Mitzi, hold on a second. We have Mitzi Daffy. Yes, right, they're written down.
Mitzi?
Hi, can you guys hear me okay?
Yes,
Fantastic. My goodness, I was going to talk about something completely different, but I think this is an important time to address what just happened.
you just,
I work for, I'm sorry, do you need my address? It's
yes,
18 Thompson Street, right here in the borough.
okay, thank you.
Phenomenal. So I work for a nonprofit called the AWG. We do a lot of counseling, mostly people who have had it court mandated due to, unfortunately, mostly hate crimes. So this is something that watching this, I feel it is necessary to speak about. One lady that I've been working with a lot recently has been a woman named Molly Cogner. She has a podcast, lovely lady. She does a lot of blogging. Now she specifically has been helping me with what I'm seeing a rise in, which is anti-Semitism. I mean, it's all over. I mean, it's online. It's clearly in our city councils. So her and I have been doing a lot of late nights, a lot of research. And one thing that I find is most helpful when combating hate is bringing awareness to things. Because I feel like a lot of hate is just ill-informed people. So we've been doing a lot of research. And I find that if you look at the Jewish religion and you look at their holy books, like the Torah, they also have the Talmud, in which it states that to rape a child under 3 is to do nothing. So really, I find myself in this hard position where, I mean, I want to stand up for the people that are being talked about in this manner, but at the same time, when they believe things like that, when they're taught things like that, how can you stand up for them? I'm pressed between picking the sides of pedophiles or Nazis. And I sincerely hope, like right now, when you're in that position, you do not pick the side of the pedophile kikes. Please.
She must be there.
Oh, thank you. All right,
We
do we have
have,
this?
yeah, Jack Skyro, man.
Who?
Good evening, Council. Jack Sky Roman here. Can you hear me? Fantastic. 80 Post Lane. I'd like to speak tonight about a very serious issue that affects our municipality as well as all municipalities in this country right now. And it's the DEI policies being pushed. And they're having consequences in our community that are extremely detrimental. White people are being so marginalized in all aspects of society that white men are now the largest group of suicide, the largest suicide group in America, according to the CDC government statistics. 24/7. Excuse me, I can hear people talking. I'll continue. Okay.
Can you just say your address again? Jack Sky Roman?
Yeah, 80 Post Road.
In Burnsville?
Correct.
You live in Burnsville?
Correct.
Okay. 80.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
As I was saying, white males are the largest group committing suicide in this country. And I would argue in this municipality, I can't prove that. But if they're not blowing their heads off with a gun, they are turning to opiates, where cheap fentanyl from China are flooding our streets. These DEI policies are an abject failure, and this mission needs to be aborted. All groups of people affected by this policy are suffering because of it. Black people do not like being grouped with brown people. Many brown people owned slaves pre-abolition. I mean, did you know that 25% of the slave owners in New Orleans were brown pre-1865? In fact, they were so vehemently proud of their brown slave owning status, they had little Mardi Gras clubs where the main requirement was your skin color needed to be the color of a paper bag or lighter. You can sigh, sir, but this is serious business.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And regarding white people, the only white people that are buying into this DEI policy are sellout Shabbos goys and low IQ tardwaffen.
Wow, that's a big word. Tardwaffen?
You look, yeah, well, your single digit IQ couldn't possibly comprehend a phrase like that.
Okay, that's great.
I think we ended the public session.
Yes.
Thank you.
Do you have anyone else we recognize? Yeah.
That's it.
No, I don't say that.
Okay.
No.
All right, I am going to close the public session.
Thank you.
All right, I will open a public hearing on ordinance 2024 appropriating $100,000 from the sewer capital improvement fund for upgrade design of Morrison Avenue pump station. Anyone would like to be heard on this?
Looking at the appropriate $100,000, yes.
Yes, seeing none. I will close the public hearing. Gina, you want to move that one?
Yeah, I move past ordinance 2024-1996 on final reading and adopt as published.
It's fine.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Ambeline?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. McQueen?
Yes.
Mr. Ruth?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Okay, I will open the public hearing on ordinance 2024-1997, supplementing and amending chapter 3 of the Borough Code entitled Police Regulations by adding a new section 3-27 entitled Resident Protection. Anyone like to be heard on this ordinance? And this again is just, the Somerset Hills towns are all doing the same ordinance in an effort to send a message to the legislatures and the governor about policy regarding crimes, some of our local crimes. Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Take it away, Christine.
I move to pass ordinance 2024-1997 on final reading and adopt as published.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Mr. Ruth?
Yes.
Mr. McQueen?
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Ambeline?
Yes.
I will open the public hearing on ordinance 2024-1998, amending the stormwater control ordinance and supplementing and amending chapter 12 of the Borough Land Use Code. Anyone want to be heard on this? We don't really have a choice on this one, do we? Okay. Then I will close the public hearing. Jack, you wanna move that one?
Sure, I'll move past ordinance 10.4/1998 and final reading and adoption published.
Second,
Roll call.
Mr. Amrine,
Yes.
Mrs. Green,
Yes.
Mr. Ruth,
Yes.
Mrs. Bear,
yes,
Moving on to resolutions, I think these are all the ones we have discussed at the last meeting, yes?
Yes. Was there, was the, when you discussed about the swim coaches, which number is that?
That's, I think, added on the end.
New business.
Yes, new business.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
I just want to.
Yeah, these are ones that we've discussed
Yep.
in depth last meeting, so, any new ones are at the end.
These actually went to the resolution that didn't last agenda. It was
Right.
only discussed at the last meeting there at the end, because the resolution itself was ready to agenda.
Right. So would someone like to move 2489 to 24108?
I'll move resolutions 2489 through 24.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bear,
yes,
Mr. Ruth,
Yes.
Mr. McQueen.
Yes.
Mrs. Green,
Yes.
Mr. Amrine,
Yes.
All right, mayor's update. As I mentioned with the ordinance we just approved, our Somerset Hills Public Safety Committee has had, I think, 2 meetings since our last official meeting. What Basking Ridge is doing, they are actually adding 2 more officers in their 2024 budget, and 13 license plate readers. I think we've added 3. And at this point, I think the committee kind of feels like we've done everything we can do locally, so we're gonna take this ordinance we passed to send it on to the governor and the legislators to try and encourage some policy changes. The Centennial Committee has been meeting monthly. We have a bunch of stuff coming up in May. I hope to see all of you at the Bernardsville Night at the ballpark on May 18th. We'll have our veterans doing the color guard, the madrigals will be singing the national anthem, maybe. There'll be fireworks, should be a fun night, and we still have, reduced price tickets. If you go to either Bernardsville Centennial 2024.com, you can get all the tickets you want. We also have, I think, I know I just wanted to do a little plug. I know this Friday they're bringing back the senior prom at the high school. The golden.
Intergenerational.
I hate that word, intergenerational golden prom. So the high school students serve dinner to seniors. So if you know, I know they're still looking for people and you need to pre-register. Because it's a dinner. So if you know anybody that's eligible, please have, it's always been a lot of fun. I've gone a couple. It's really a nice evening. We also have, the Memorial Day Parade on May 27th, so, the committee needs to know who of us is gonna be there, because we march usually. So I don't know what, you're not here? I'm here.
I'll be here.
Maybe to be here, yes.
Okay.
If I'm here, I'll be here.
Yes.
And we have a centennial banner we can hold every March. Yeah.
I don't control my weekends.
And then on May 30th, the Centennial Committee, as well as the Mayor's Wellness Committee, will be sponsoring Music Through the Years with Good Time Charlie as our DJ at the library. So that again will be geared for our seniors. I attended the fire company dinner and provided proclamations for, I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 members who have been 50-year members. Victor Guglietta, Tom Carton, Don Forsyth, Dave Wacker, and Ken Hendershot. So good volunteerism. I also attended the YMCA Spirit Awards and an annual campaign celebration, and they have exceeded their goal this year. We had an Eagle Scout Court of Honor on the 14th with 4 Eagle Scouts. There was Daniel Adams, Gavin Byers, Evan Donahue, and Luke Hartgen. And what I'm gonna do is read one of the proclamations, because they're all pretty much the same except for their projects. And since we have Reese Donahue here, and his brother was one of those four, I'll read his. So whereas Evan Donahue has proven himself to be an outstanding member of the Boy Scouts of America and has achieved the highest rank of Eagle Scout, and whereas it takes years of dedication and commitment to achieve Eagle rank, and whereas Eagle Scouts act as leaders and role models in the community, and whereas the Eagle Scout Award is a distinction that will follow him throughout life and will be a beacon to others of the leadership quality and commitment this young man has shown. And whereas residents of the Somerset Hills appreciate his hard work at the Environmental Education Center, where he spruced up Paddler's Cove. And whereas the Eagle Scout Court of Honor recognizing Evan for his accomplishments with Boy Scout Troop 150 was held on April 14th, 2024. Now therefore be it proclaimed that I, Mary Jane Canoes, Mayor of the Borough of Bernardsville, do hereby recognize Evan Donahue for his achievement of the rank of Eagle. And the other boys got the same, except for what Dan Adams did. He created a garden. He took recycled wood pallets, made it a garden, planted vegetables, and grew the vegetables and donated them to a food bank. Gavin built a fairly large kiosk through the Raritan Headwaters Fairview Farm Wildlife Preserve in Bedminster. And Luke Hartgen built and installed a trail kiosk at Kirkpatrick Park and helped clean and maintain the trail. So the projects that these Eagle Scouts do are really pretty impressive, and we are grateful for all that they do. Reese, you'll be coming up next, right?
Yeah.
All right, we had the Fence Sitter Film Festival here in town last weekend, brought a lot of people into town. It was a really great event. I attended the opening event at Diamond Dream and the closing event at the Bernie, and a lot of the local businesses supported it, so it was, and I think they'll be back with another one in September. So they're gonna try and do 2 a year. Al and I also attended the opening day parade ceremony for the Somerset Hills Ball Club, and there's 380 kids or something. It's incredible how many children are involved in that. We had the Green Fair at the train station last Saturday. Thank you to the Green team and Jeff Hammond. I think it was a really good event. So a lot of you guys there helping out, so thank you. I think that was, we had the Trails Committee had a table, Environmental Commission had a table. I also attended the Somerset County Planning Partners meeting, which was an update on the state development and redevelopment plan and the cross acceptance. We'll be hearing more about that. I think you all got copies of the presentation that Walter Lane did. I'm not sure. I think at some point we have to do a resolution that we're going to participate in the process. They also talked about the county has a local safety action plan that they're working on to help reduce traffic deaths and injuries. And we had our plaque for 2023. We are again a New Jersey Healthy Town to Watch. This is the Mayor's Wellness Committee. Our banner hasn't come yet. They said they are sending one. So once it comes, we have to take a picture with it and send it in. So we have that. So that is my stuff. See, when it takes me, it's a whole month goes by. I have a lot to say. Sorry. Administrator.
I just have a couple of things. One, I want to let you know that the test, or demonstration, I guess, to show how high the proposed lights at the polo grounds will be on Thursday, May 2nd. The bucket truck will be there around 6 p.m. On Thursday until 6 a.m. on Friday. One of the residents made a request for a light on the top, and so that you can see it in the dark. And so the tree company is accommodating us. They have one on it that runs apparently on a very quiet generator. So the light will be on, like, I have warned the residents that it's not gonna be the same light as the light that would be there, which will be very focused. But it's just to give an idea of height. So again, that is Thursday night until Friday morning. At 251 Claremont, we have received, all but one of the things we need in order to get our demolition permit. We had, propane tank removed, septic tank removed, and a, well removed. And the last two were, required health department approval, so we got those, they were approved and we got those permits. We got Somerset County soil permit. We got, we had it exterminated and we had, the electric turned off and got the letter of disconnection from JCP&L. We just need the gas was turned off, the meter is disconnected, but we just need it disconnected from the street. And we need a letter from them, it's the last thing we need, which I think is happening this week. So it's possible we could have the house demolished and the report into the state by the end of May, which gives us a whole extra month. And like I said, we have $500,000 on the line for that. So I want to thank, Tony Hajar, our engineer, and John McDowell, our DPW director, for their help in getting all that done and coordinated, because I mean, this is like the fastest moving project, that I've seen in a while. So, it's a shame to see the house go. I didn't really like that house, but, it'll be a beautiful park entrance way to the Peter's Track. And hopefully it's a few months.
All right, thank you. So we have our monthly reports. Do I have, a motion to accept the department monthly reports?
I'll move to accept the monthly reports.
Sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We have another volunteer for shade tree, so I think, how many does that make? Eight. So now we just have to get them together, get somebody to offer to be chair. So who wants to do that?
I move to confirm the mayor's appointment of Kate Lincoln to the Shady Tree Committee.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Nice. Nice, right here to come out of here. All right, moving on to, any unfinished business, by the way. Do we have anything? I don't think so. New business, a temporary sign request for, farmer's market. I think we have, a form filled out by Madeline English. Anybody have a problem with that?
No.
You should approve by motion.
Do it by motion, all right? We have a motion to approve.
I'll move to approve, item 10D, for temporary sign.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We have to approve all these by motion, right?
You know, if you wish, you can do some or all of these resolutions by second consent agenda.
Because, yeah, the only thing is, we haven't talked about them, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just feel like,
Well, we talked about several of them.
yeah.
You want me to approve?
Well, can we pull out, I think we answer, Main Street, there were a bunch of questions
Yeah,
there
that's
that we need to address. I think the rest are, we talked about last time, right? We did, okay, so just the one from, the 10D. Or 10D4.
Yeah,
We'll pull that one out, and then we can just move them off, so.
yeah, that's the only thing that's.
I'll move 10D2, 10D3.
No, the resolution numbers, check. It just.
Oh, sorry.
One more.
Fired. Resolutions 2024-110, 2411, 2412, 13, and 14.
And 15, 16.
Sorry,
Can you just do 16, 15 up?
and 16, we're leaving 15.
Only because he needs to recuse, his son is on the list.
Second.
Come on, have a damn you.
All right,
We'll do it quick.
roll call.
Mr. Antoine?
Yes.
Ms. McCready?
Yes.
Mr. McQueen?
Yes.
Mr. Ruth?
Yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Okay, so we had a number of questions here, maybe Jack, you can answer them with the vendors for the car show. And what people have to do or not. Oh, well, we could do those two together, or it's not even. It's not a resolution, okay, let's do 15. One, Jack, look that up. Jay, why are you?
Because my son's on
Son
that,
on the list.
on the list of, he works there, so I'm gonna abstain.
I'm like, but my son's gonna work there too, so does that mean I have to abstain? I mean, it's like basic, I mean, it's minimum wage, normal job, but,
Alright.
I mean, I don't know.
I'll just.
Is yours not minimum wage?
He's going for
Yeah.
that.
He negotiated a better salary than we
It's
did.
different.
He's had, he's one of the head.
Okay, good, so that, I'm like, cause I'm like, mine's minimum wage, I was not
Yeah, I
gonna use
wasn't worried
myself
about
for a seasonal.
Wait, for camp.
Well, just look, can we do it with just with 3 votes, Jack? If.
You can.
So we can take care of this. I think we can handle this. I'll move, resolution 24-115.
Second.
All right, roll call.
Mr. Antoine?
Abstain.
Ms. McCready?
Abstain.
Mr. McQueen?
Yes.
Mr. Ruth?
Just hanging on you, Jeff.
Jeff.
Sorry, yes.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. So Olivia, you had a bunch of questions,
This is for 10D4.
yeah. And I don't know how we usually, I think, are you there, Olivia? Yeah, are you doing?
I'm here.
The vendor village is over by the statue, by Millicent statue in that area?
We haven't finalized exactly where, but I think that's right now where it looks like. And as far as the vendors go, most of them, there's only 2 right now that would actually be selling anything. One of which is actually my husband's toy store with the vintage toys. Since they're no longer in the pop-up, they have like a trailer, like a trailer that they've outfitted into like a mobile toy store. And then one other person that does handmade jewelry, but everyone else is like the Girl Scout troop. They're not selling anything. There's a chrome company that's just, showcasing their services because it's vehicle chrome. We have Carney Bank coming, and then another local person who teaches speaking. So there's no like physical products to sell. It's more like just informational. So that, I guess that's where the question came in is, the Girl Scouts had asked, can we waive the fee because we're a nonprofit? Like, I wasn't really sure how to answer them. I just was going to do the $50 across the board and the COIs across the board and treat everyone the same. But at the same time, I don't know what's right or wrong as far as this goes, because we've never done it this way before. So
Yeah.
I think I'm wrong, that's up to the council, that we want to read the things.
Do we normally?
Oh, no, I want to take the record of, I think about that too, is you want to waive the fees. Insurance, as I recall, the CARE policies actually recognize that some individuals aren't gonna be able to get, insurance like that. And as long as the sponsor has insurance, I think we're covered.
Okay.
That's why the Jim said that if someone doesn't have insurance, if it's like an individual, they have to show us homeowner insurance.
That's right. That's right.
Oh, homeowners?
Yeah, they just have to show their homeowner's policy.
Liability policy.
Yeah. So I didn't realize we have a $50 vendor fee, is that from like the farmer's market? Is that an ordinance separate, the $50? Oh, special events, the special event fee?
Chart for when we get the application to how close it is to the actual event and it goes up. As
That's
you get
right.
close to the
Now I
event, at this point, it's
understand
$50 for
Yeah,
the sponsor and the vendors.
okay. But, if they're not actually selling anything?
Yeah.
Do you remember when we did the Unity Day and we had like all the businesses set up? I don't remember that we charged them back then. No, they just kind of had information about their businesses. Yeah, are we good with not charging?
Yes.
Yeah, across the board?
Yeah, waive the fee.
Yeah.
Even to the folks selling stuff where they could be making money at this event?
Yeah, I think so.
I think just, yeah, the two that are selling probably should pay the fee.
Jay and I felt different.
Oh, you did?
We just felt like it'd be easier if we just said.
Oh.
At the
Yeah,
meetings.
okay,
Let's have a great event and let's not let
yeah,
$50 get in the way of a great event.
but tell them 5% of their sales should go to Main Street.
I will say though, and there was another individual too, Chris over at the movie theater has offered to give popcorn away. So I was asking him, I'm like, well, you sure you want to do that? Because I'm sure you're going to have a lot of popcorn that people are going to want. And so I guess that was another factor. And I didn't know if, I mean, and I'm going to have him deal with health department and all that if he needs to, but that's where another question came in is, do I need to charge him as well because of the popcorn aspect? Because we have the food trucks and we're managing the food trucks like we do every year. So that's not really an issue, but I just, you never really know for sure. So I appreciate your time and your help on this one. Thank you.
I will come for a bag of popcorn.
Oh, and it's good movie theater popcorn, so it's good stuff.
We read the night.
Okay, so that's good.
And I guess what about the insurance? Can they just provide, can Main Street just provide their own insurance on behalf of all of these vendors?
No, I think the vendors, like the Girl Scouts, can get insurance because the parent organization has it. As Anthony said, individuals that aren't able to get commercial insurance like that, you just provide a copy of their homeowner's policy.
But we need to have them provide it. We can't have Main Street provide their insurance.
Right,
and cover it.
every.
Okay,
Everyone has to do it.
so can you ask them for their homeowners, copy of homeowners?
It's the cover sheet.
That doesn't have a business insurance or an organization insurance like Girl Scouts do.
Yeah, the Girl Scouts actually said that they have insurance. I asked them if they have that, so they said yes, and they're going to provide that for me this week. So as far as I'm seeing right now, everybody seems to have it. I just know in the past I've asked some individuals, some students that have like a product that they're selling or something that they're doing, and then they don't have insurance. So if I ever was encountered with that situation, I just wanted to make sure that there was a solution for them not having it. So the homeowners thing is probably fine. If that comes about, but I think so far we're in good shape. Everybody has it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, we're back now to a second open session for any items that were not listed for the public hearing. Johanna.
Two things, Johanna Rissinger, Washington Corner Road, speaking as environmental commissioner, regarding the shade tree. Caitlin, I've been meeting with Kate Lincoln, giving her the agendas, kind of talked her into being chair. That's what we needed. We had people. So, but she wants to know how we do it. I mean, you're responsible for assigning the chair, right? So, as soon as you give us, permission, you tell us or let her know, if you agree with that, then we'll get that going.
That would be wonderful, because some of the people have been emailing.
There's a chair by motion tonight.
Can we do that tonight?
Sure.
Super.
We're certain that she's aware she's meeting.
I told her we would help.
This is the ultimate coercion, Johanna.
I know, I did it with Jeff, I could do it. And then number two, I don't know about this, and maybe you could help me. I'm concerned that we don't have a member from the planning board on the environmental commission because of some level, and I don't know about that. I do know that, having a full member from the planning board is really important. It's nice to have a dialogue and for them to understand us, for us to understand them. That they have a lot of insight that we might not have, that we can ask. They're right there. So I don't know what happened. We had Mark. It was wonderful. And I don't know what these different levels are and why that is. But if we can't have a member, and this is, you can understand that this is important. It's a state thing. They have a regulation for that. So we want to change something if that's the case for this municipality, because I think an environmental commission should have a member from the planning board.
Actually, environmental commission members should be on the planning board.
It's the other.
there has to be, for some reason, 2 courts have held that it's not mandatory.
Yeah.
I have no idea why, as I said, the language of the statute is very clear, but there are 2 court cases saying you don't have to.
But it's
Now-
not the commissioner on the planning board, it's the planning board on the commission.
That's correct, of course.
Well, somebody that does both. Okay.
But if the commission is full this year, then there's no room, you have to wait till next year.
Is your membership full?
No,
Oh,
I didn't think so.
I mean,
I mean,
I'm asking-
because he was on it and now he's not on it, so there's a void.
but how many members do you
It
have?
must be 6.
I
We'll
have to look,
check,
I
yeah.
have to look, there's 7 plus 2 alternates, I don't know if they're all filled off the top of my
Oh,
head.
I'll look, I didn't think about that.
There's definitely 7 plus 2
I mean,
alternates.
because we started off the year with he being the 7th.
Right.
Oh,
So I
there
just
could
made
be-
that assumption. We
Yeah.
didn't fill it with a new person. We don't assign anyone.
Maybe he's just not attending,
What?
maybe he's just not attending your meetings.
No,
Yeah.
we put him on the Board of Health.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, okay, thank you.
Thank you. We'll figure that out.
You did that because of the class.
Right, to have the correct,
2 member.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, we need a motion to approve, I guess they're okay me appointing Kate Lincoln as chair. That's a motion, yeah.
Can we make it contingent on Kate linking the green?
I think that's always the case.
Yeah.
It is, that's true, that's true.
It's my appointment, but you're.
We'll move Kate Lincoln to chair, pending her agreement.
I'll give her a call. Okay, second? All in favor? Aye. Okay. That's great, because I was hoping I didn't have to try and get them organized. Good. I guess we do have items for executive, yes? Oh, I didn't ask, anybody else want to speak? I'm sorry, I didn't close the public session. Yes. I didn't close the public session yet.
Hi, Carrie Hazelton, Brook Road. I just wanted to, mention that we are working on a new parking area up at Peters Tract. The trails are beautiful, the peonies are open along the trails and probably soon will be at Peonies MD. We really desperately need a sign, even people that are on the Trails Committee sometimes drive past that park. So we know that driveway, now we know we're gonna use that driveway, steep as it is, we're gonna improve it. Could we have a sign that shows on either, that's facing the way that traffic faces, because we've got a Green Acres sign, but you can't see it unless you're stopped. And it says Peters Tract with, we can use whatever design you want. And I would suggest that we just use the Centennial design, which is beautiful, that we could use for all of our parks. And just start with that one. We need a sign also at Kirkpatrick Park. We have issues with the driveway, but we could put a sign in and then we could move it later if we have a different driveway. But we're having issues with people not being able to find the parks. And, I'd suggest, I hope that we can move forward with Peters Tract at this point. Thanks.
Okay, no, good point. Great.
Just spell it with no apostrophe, I think, PDCERS.
Yes, your name is the Peters, yeah.
Yeah,
Not-
and it's Peters Tract.
It's not
There's no
possessive, yeah. Okay, anyone else? All right, then I will close the public session. Do I have a motion for closed session? We'll move to executive.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Are we coming out?
I don't have any.
No,
No.
yeah, we're not in open, so an early night, Charlie.
Appreciate it.
Just.
Well, thank